Hi, folks. Welcome to Research Talk's Qualitative Scholar Conversations. I am Dr. Tony Adams, and I'm here with my colleagues, Maietta and Dr. Carolyn Ellis. And we are here today to talk with you about the power and practice of autoethnography, storytelling that deepens knowledge and soothes the soul, a workshop that Carolyn and I are running on August 2nd, 2024.
And that course is part of ResearchTalk and Odum Institute's Qualitative Research Summer Intensive, which features over 2 weeks, 8 days of courses. And we're happy today to be joined by Carolyn and Tony.
I'm Carolyn Ellis, and I'm currently retired and living in Safety Harbor, Florida, part of the year, and Franklin, North Carolina, the other part of the year. I went to William and Mary and got a degree in sociology, doing an ethnographic study of isolated fishing communities. And then I went to Stony Brook for my PhD in sociology and continued doing that ethnographic work.
Much of my early life, I was trained as a musician. I pursued my undergraduate education at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, where I majored in news writing and reporting. Then I get into graduate school also at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, where I learned many of research techniques involves dealing with working with folks and their data and asking ourselves, how do we want to work with others' information, and what do we owe them, and how do we want to represent them?
Well, without going straight to a definition, I still want to, look at the word and the parts of the word, which are auto, self, ethno, other, culture, and graphy, which means writing or representation of the relationship between self and other. And autoethnography really emphasizes, bringing yourself into what it is that you're studying. So you're not just neutral observer looking at the other. You still look at the other, hopefully in very intense, deep ways, but you also look at yourself and use your own experiences, your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own motivations to help you understand what is going on here. Because I think that's what social scientists are in the habit of doing, is to try to figure out what's going on here.
As somebody who adores qualitative research, autoethnography, the graphy of ethnography and the graphy of autoethnography is very special and deliberate. We don't do survey graphy research. We don't do phenomenology graphy. We don't do experiment graphy. We don't do interview graphy. Graphy is a core component of this method, and this gets us into those stories, the evocative stories and the compelling tales, and that is really important for this work. I often say, if you're trained in autoethnography, you are not only going to be a much better researcher, you're going to be a much more ethical researcher. I want to emphasize that autoethnography, knowing autoethnography improves research practice, all research practice. I think this course will push them to figure out what they consider to be meaningful. What do they want to do? What is their stake in the work that they do? This semester, I'm doing a few projects around campus. And the one question that I often ask anybody when they're telling me about any of their work, why are you doing this? Why do you care? And guess what? There's often a story.
And I think the workshop and ResearchTalk is fantastic for all those folks out there in the world who maybe they have a mentor who believes in autoethnography, maybe they don't, maybe they can put a committee together, maybe they can't. But to come to this workshop, I think really helps move them along, gets them connected with other people who have complementary interests to theirs. And so I think it's just a very important project, and I'm really glad to be a part of it. And thanks, Ray, and the rest of you for organizing this and making it happen.